Greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and this is going to be a very beginner starter guide for Disgaea 7. And my purpose behind this is I love this series, and I want to get more people involved in playing this series, but I don't think that it's an easy... There's not an easy entry level to this. The barrier to start playing this is quite immense if you just started at fresh and you had to take all this in at once. There are a lot of mechanics, a lot of functions, and some of it just doesn't make sense unless somebody explains it to you. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Give everybody the basics so that they can go in and enjoy Disgaea 7. That doesn't mean that this is going to give you help at endgame and all that kind of stuff. That'll be another video later on when I do like advanced tips and whatnot. And also I need to also clarify what makes me think that I'm qualified to make this video. So I've done a lot of testing in Disgaea 7. I have played all of the Disgaea games, played the last 3 or 4 of them extensively. Disgaea 6, which is probably the closest to this one, I played on PlayStation to completion and Nintendo to completion, and got into a lot of the endgame stuff. So I am definitely qualified to go over what is in this guide here. I will not cover things that I'm unsure of, only things that I know how they work. And I might not give numbers to things because I might not know how those numbers are in this game, because I don't know if they've changed or not. So I can only talk about things that I know of. So that, now that that's out of the way, because I know I'm going to get a comment, what makes you think you could talk about this? You're still in the beginning of the game. Yes, I am, but I played the demo a lot. I played this a lot to test all the things I'm going to go through. So let's dive into it. So the first thing you need to learn how to do is navigate the menus. Like I said, this is a very beginning guide, so we're going to go over everything. So I don't know what kind of controller you're using, so I'm going to talk about buttons like top, down, left, and right. Alright, so that's what we're going to go with. The top button will bring up your menu. The bottom button will let you select whatever you're on or whoever you're on. The right button will backtrack out of that menu all the way to back in the game. So again, that is up button for the menu. You can move up and down on the D-pad to select things inside the menu. Hit the bottom button to go to wherever you're on. Left or right, select the different things. Up and down. That's on the D-pad. Sorry, left and right on the D-pad. And then up and down on the D-pad to select here. And then you can hit the bottom button to look at it at a little more in depth. And then the right button to back out. So that is how all the menus work, so that you know how to navigate. The next thing you need to know is, mainly because this is how I'm going to refer to things, is the world terminology.
I'll show you the way, dude.
And the way that most people talk about Disgaea worlds, or in this case episodes, so we'll call them episodes to simplify things and to match what this game is. But in previous ones they were other netherworlds because you went to other netherworlds. This one's basically in Hinomoto all the way through. At least the first 3 are. I don't know if it goes to another netherworld later on, but for now they're in 1. So this is episode 1. So this would be 1, and then these are the maps in 1. So if I said 1-1, I'm talking about episode 1 map or area 1, and if I said 1-4, I'm talking about episode 1 area or map 4. If I said 2-3, I would be talking about episode 2 area map 3. I hope that makes sense, and so on and so forth. The DLC ones, these are different. These are not what you're going to see unless you go into the DLC, unless you bought the DLC and applied it. So this makes it kind of muddy, and I apologize for that. I probably should not have unlocked those, but I'm trying to get those characters into my game. So anyways, that is the terminology you need to know for later on when I refer to when you unlock things. The DLC that I mentioned is
Welcome.
right here. This
What
is
do you want?
unlocked after you beat the first area. You can come over here and you can then apply your DLC. You can see that I've already applied it because it's gray. It would be white. Otherwise, you would hit the down button on whichever one you wanted to unlock. It would give you a prompt. Do you really want to apply this? You would hit yes, and then it would be applied. Alright? So you can view the DLC that's available that you don't have yet. You can go to the store. I'm not going to do that because it'll open up the Steam store. I am playing on PC. And this will tell you about explanation,
Come
which
back
I just
anytime.
gave you. So the first thing that's going to open up once you beat 1-1, I'm not sure if it's 1-1. It's after you beat the intro map. It might be 1-1. I don't remember. I went through them so fast. Is the general store.
Welcome
So this
to
will be
the
the first
general
thing you
store.
open up, and this is where you buy and sell items. Pretty normal, but hold on, I need a drink. As you buy things, and we'll just buy some mint gum, your customer rank will go up. And as your customer rank goes up, the store is better to you. Lower prices and whatnot, right? Now, the items that are here are the beginning items. I haven't done any upgrading to the store. And how you upgrade them is you go and you pass a bill at the Dark Assembly that says, I want better items. We will get into the Dark Assembly later, though. So this is the first thing that opens up. So if you look at your characters and you go to equipment and they don't have anything, let's go to one that doesn't have anything, then you can go and you can buy stuff for that character. Or you can, if you just play the game naturally, you can unlock things. I haven't bought anything except for what you just saw right there, but yet I have items that I can give them here. So we'll cover more of this when we get to the characters. Let me just make a note for that right now so I don't forget. Items. Alright. The next thing you're going to unlock is the hospital, and I'm going to have to undo something so you guys can see the beginning state of the hospital. Forgot to do this. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this down to 0 so we're at the basic state. Alright. So the hospital. What the hospital
Lost
is
lambs.
for is
This is the
if
hospital.
you
May God watch over you.
take damage or use
Where to,
SP
dude?
over here in the combat areas, your hospital will give that back to you. So let's just go through the first area real quick. Won't take me too long. These guys are low level.
Entering battle.
You can kind of see how combat happens here. I'm going to go through all of this more. I'm skipping the moves. Now, maybe I shouldn't. Alright. I won't skip this. I'll let it play through. Each one is different. We'll get more into these skills and how you acquire them when we get to the characters. Let's go Eddie. Eddie needs some experience. I'm just gonna skip him. I want to get through this quick. Alright, tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Well, we got one more. I was gonna just quit out, but I guess we can go
Come quietly.
ahead
Your
and finish
fate
this real
is
quick.
peeled.
Electro ball, get him!
Understood.
All that stuff I'm going to go over that you saw there. I'm going to go over all that when we get to combat. I got kind of an idea how I want to progress through things. So now you'll see that if I go to characters and I go to the ones that I was using, I didn't take any hits, but I don't have full SP. SP is what you use to do your specials. Well, I guess Mimi either leveled or took some damage. Probably leveled. So we're going to go and we're going to go to the hospital.
Lost lambs. This is the
And
hospital.
we're going to
Blessings be upon you.
treat. Now we go to any of them, you can see that they're full health. And you saw that it cost some HL, so
Lost lambs. This is the hospital.
keep that in mind for later when I show you how
May
to
God watch
automate
over
it.
you.
If you were paying attention, you saw how I automated it, because I already showed that. but we'll go over that when we get to the cheat shop. So that is the hospital, and that is important. So that one unlocks after you beat 1-1. So then the next thing that unlocks is the Scout Recruiter, which unlocks at 1-2. This is where you can recruit new characters.
I'll do some scouting.
And these are your hired characters, and they can be monsters or classes depending on how you want to look at it. And some of these are not the ones you start with. I've unlocked a couple more.
I'll do some scouting.
Hire one, you've got to use HL. You can randomize the name, you can confirm it, or you can click here and you can change it manually. The problem with this is you got to go over to OK. When you're done, you can't just hit the bottom button, confirm. When you create a character, I recommend that you early on do incompetent and build them up normally, unless you have an abundance of HL, and then you can do the higher up one. I only have an abundance of HL because of one of the DLCs I got. It gave me a handful of HL and I already had some. So we'll just go incompetent. I'll show you how this works. I won't really do this. So the bonuses they're talking about are actually stat points. So if I go incompetent, I get 1 stat point. I can put it in any one of these that I want. I'm just going to throw it in HP because we're not going to make this character anyways. Here you can tell you can spend HL to go to a higher level. Now I don't know why the cap is 12. I have level 16 characters. So I haven't yet determined what causes the max level here. I would make a level 1 and just level them up. Personally, I don't want to spend the HL, and I'll gain HL and equipment and items and all kinds of stuff, and they need to be built up anyways. None of their levels on any of their weapon proficiencies is anywhere right now. They're all level 0. So we would want to go level 1 and build those up as we went through. This is the voices they
Here
use.
I go. Take
You
this.
can hit the top button
Let's
to
keep it up. We
sample
did it.
these.
No pain, no gain. Deltoids.
And then this is the fighter color. Right now he doesn't have any other colors. And then do you want to create them? I'm going to say no because I don't at this point in time, but that is how you do it. And you can look at each one of these and see what their strengths are down below. Hit points, speed, those kind of things will be all here. And even though these are both male and female martial artists, they're different. You can see they're just a little bit different. They also have different passive abilities, is what I'll call them here, because I'll go over that later and whatnot. So that's how you add a character so that you can use on the map. You could also dismiss a character if you wanted to get rid of somebody that you had in here and didn't want anymore.
Let's
and
talk
also read
business.
the explanation. So that is the recruiter, and you'll be using that a lot. Now, I will go into how you unlock a lot of those classes in a bit. For now, we're going to move on to the skill shop. So if we look at, I guess we got to go over skills then first. So we'll go over skills. So we'll use Hannah, no, status, and we'll look at this. So skills. So how you get skills. There's 2 ways to determine the skills that you get on a character. The first one is their class. This class is an acolyte or a healer, and they will get the skills as they level up for an acolyte healer. So if we go over to specials, you will see that she has heal and then some other support type skills here. That is because of her class. Now, if I was to heavily use her wand in combat, she would gain skills for wand. And I'll show you an example of that by showing you... I don't want to use a unique because they can confuse things. We'll use the gunslinger here. So because she uses a gun, you can see that when she started out, she had no specialties. She only could use the gun and shoot things with a basic attack. As I used the gun more and became oops, wrong button, became higher level with it, I started unlocking specialties. The first one I unlocked was the gunman spirit. As I gained more proficiency in the guns, I then got flash trigger. And then as I go further along the gun skill tree, I will gain more. Now, her being a gunslinger, I have a hard time knowing which one of these was because of the gunslinger and which one was from the gun. I know Gunsman Spirit is because of the gun, because I've gotten it on other characters that I was using a gun on. So that's obviously a gun one, and you can see the gun skill there. So I believe this sword here is the class one, and it's flash trigger. So if I go back to Planier, you see that I don't have flash trigger. But yet she's further along on the gun than the gunslinger. So this side shooter is a unique skill for her, I believe. I may get it on the other one when I level it up more. I don't know at this point. But that's basically how you increase or get more skills. So you can see these ones here are more wand skills because it has the wand symbol on it. There's a sword skill here, a wand, a unique, and then these are support, a bow and arrow, the gun, the fist. You get the idea. Alright. So that is how you gain skills. Use the weapon for the weapon skills you want, or have the class and get the class skills. The skill shop...
This is the skill shop.
...will let you enhance skills by going to that skill, and you can click it. You can enhance the power, which increases its efficacy or power. If it's a damaging spell, it's easier to understand what it does. A healing one, it probably increases the healing on it. In the range, this is the type of pattern you can use on the grounds when you're casting it. So as you increase the range, it's not really the range of the skill. The range of the skill goes up as you increase your proficiency with it automatically. So this is more of the pattern that you could put down on the ground for the skill. Now what you got to understand about enhancing the power is the SP used for that skill goes up based on how much you want to enhance it. See, I can go, it's currently using 8. I can go to 34 by enhancing it +1, or 69 SP if I make it a +2. Now, I would not do this on a healing spell at the beginning of the game. Matter of fact, I don't know if I would do it on any spells at the beginning of the game that I did not plan on using at endgame. I would wait to see what spells that I have towards the end, because as I said, you're going to use, say, a fireball spell, a fire spell, and as you use that, you're going to unlock more spells that are higher up. So you'll have, so like this would be heal, greater heal, I forget all the names, ultimate heal, and stuff like that. And as you go up, they become better, heal more, and I would rather wait till I got the end game skills and enhance those. I hope that makes sense. The range, though, the range is very, very useful, especially for healing spells, because then I can change how many characters I can heal based on the pattern. Now, it costs more SP to do that. The base one is the level 1. That costs 8. As soon as you go to level 2, it costs more SP. I don't know how much more. I haven't looked at it in a while. I know it was like 24 before, but it's probably gone down because I've increased the proficiency on it. And then it goes up as you increase the amount of people you're healing. But the efficiency of it improves each time you level up and use the next one up. So level 1 would cost 8, level 2 would cost 12. So I'm healing 2 people for 12 instead of 8 twice, which would be 16. So it's more efficient. Now, don't quote me on those numbers because I don't know if they're exactly right, but that's how it seems to be. Is the efficiency goes up, the more more people you're healing, and it would probably be the same on damaging spells as well. Now, mana is used here to do this, so keep that in mind, that if you want to unlock something at the Dark Assembly or whatever, use mana elsewhere. If you use it here, you're gonna lose it. So make sure you know where you want to spend your mana, I guess is what I'm saying.
Time to practice.
Alright, so now Evilties. We're kind of getting into the character stuff here, but it kind of is necessary to talk about this stuff here so that we can go over it in the skill shop. Alright, so Evilties. If we go to status and we go over to Evilties, this is Hannah's Evilties. These are passive abilities. So, increase amount restored by 100% when using healing spells. So every healing spell she uses does double heals, basically. So instead of healing for 10, it'll heal for 20. Fundamentals is one that I added through a scroll, and it increased skill gain by 10%. If we go to specials, these are active. We already talked about these, but I just want to clarify that these are active. They cost SP. These are passive. Now you can see that the unique one is on the top. I have 01 used of 01, so that means I can't use any more, and there's obviously not another spot there. If we go here, you can see it more clearly. So I have 01 of 01 for the unique, and you can see that above it right there. It tells you how much you can use and how much you are using, or how much you're using and how much you can use, I guess in that order. The common, I'm using 01, so if I went here and I removed it, you would see I now have 0 of 5, but if I add it, I now have 1. I don't have any more to give her, but if I went to, say, items, went over to my scrolls, you can see that I have some here that I could give her. So if I wanted to give her mana lever, which I think gives 10% mana, I would use it and give it to... I'm going to give it to Fuji because I think I'm going to use him more. And then I would go to Fuji and go to Evilties, and then I would equip it. Mana lever. So now, oh, he gets 50. I didn't realize it was 50%. So now I gain 50% more mana when I complete a map, or when I defeat an enemy and complete maps for Fuji. And remember, anytime you come into the Dark Assembly or the skill shop, you're doing it as the character you select. So the mana that you use comes from the character you select. Alright, so that's Evilties and what they do, but I could also come over here and learn new ones. And as you increase your character's levels and classes and go through the story and unlock things in the Dark Assembly, you'll unlock more of these. And I could, since he uses a sword, if I wanted to learn this, I could spend 250 mana and learn it. And it would give me minus 50 to all my skill costs for swords, which he uses a lot of. I can also do this and increase attacks on my first turn. I don't really care for that. I can increase parry rate. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot in here. Fundamentals, HL lever. This will all come in videos later when I start to fine-tune the grinding later on. But that is how you would buy. Let's go ahead and just do this. I'm going to buy this eventually anyways. So I just bought that, and then I go to same way I did before, Evilties, and now I equip that one, and it takes me to 3 out of 5. So if I wanted to go buy another one with 2 points for common, or another 2 Evilties that cost 1 common point each, then I could do that as long as I'm under 5. That 5 number, if it's like 6, I can't say that I've seen this firsthand, but if it's like 6, this guy is 6, you can increase that to quite a bit and have a lot of Evilties here and really define your character's passives through this. And this will be a big part of the end game if it's anything like this guy is 6. So it's important to know that. Alright, we're not going to go over the squad shop because that's not part of this. The quest shop. The quest shop... Okay, I did not go over... The skill shop unlocks after you beat 2-2. The quest shop unlocks after you beat 2-4. And what the quest shop is,
Welcome to the quest
basically
shop.
exactly what it sounds like. You can accept quests and get rewards. So we go over here. This is all my quests. If I hit the back button, I will show the ones that I can turn in. And I can conclude by just following through and doing this. And I can see the reward up top. It says reward 1000 mana in the juice bar. Go over that a little bit later. So drink extracts at the juice bar. That's what I have to do to complete this quest. I've already done it. It shows my progress 1 of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude that and hit yes. There we go.
Please come
There we
again.
go. Alright, now the thing you need to know about the quest shop is
Welcome to the quest
every
shop.
time you complete one,
We're
there's
here
a
for
chance
you.
that a new one will show up. So always look for that. It'll usually show you on your screen, and when you're coming out of a map, it usually shows you which ones you've completed in that map. So pay attention to that, complete your quests, get your rewards. It'll keep you motivated and give you items and stuff that you might need later on. Okay, so that's the quest shop. Let's talk about characters, which I already did a little bit, but we'll go over it a little bit more. We're going to go status here. Alright. So some of the important things here are your base stats, which it shows a kind of right there. Hit points, SP, attack, defense, intelligence, resistance, hit, and speed. Alright, so what should I pay attention to on this character? This character is a healer, so you would think intelligence, but you would be wrong. Heal, the element is resistance. Now, I don't really get a bonus for having higher resistance for this, but if we go to gun, speed, and hit are what are used for the gun skills, and increasing those will give me a huge benefit for attacks. I shouldn't say you don't get any benefit, you will heal more. It's just you're going to be going to a higher skill on these before any of that matters, and then once you get to the end game, then it will start to matter. But for the most part, you're going to want to pay attention to your attack ones. You can see that fire, wind, and ice and star, those are all elemental ones, and those are all intelligence. So intelligence is the most important thing for that, and it will increase your damage for those. Since I'm going gunman, then I'm going speed and hit on all of them. I should say on all to increase those damages and efficiency. So the way you increase your stats is twofold, maybe multiple, more than that. So your equipment will give you stats. If we go back to equipment, right, it'll say plus 169, 178 over there. The wrinkled clothing doesn't give me much. Let's see if I can find something better. So let's go over sorting real quick, because this is important. So while I'm in the item bag, and this is in the item bag in your character screen, but you could do this if you just look for items. You can go here and click on the left stick, and then you can change what you're looking for on the sort. So by doing this, I can say that I want the highest hit and speed on top. So we got an Imperial Seal. We're going to change her out to there. And you can see that by... So this uses hit and speed. This gives hit and speed. This gives hit and speed. So we're really getting a bonus there. But you can also see that because this item is... Where... A legendary item. And so is this, I get even more of a bonus. I don't know how much that bonus is, but if you have all legendaries or all rares, you will get bonuses. Alright, so that is kind of one way to get stats. The other way to get stats is to level up. So when we're talking about, do you want levels or stats? That's kind of like the cart and the horse, right? You need the horse to pull the cart, or the cart doesn't get anywhere. And if you put the cart before the horse, then, well, the horse could really push the cart, but it's slower. So, yeah, not a good analogy, but you get what I'm saying. I think in that you need both. I would say early game, focus on levels, because levels are the easiest way to increase your stats. And then later in the game, when leveling doesn't matter as much, that's when you want to start focusing on your stats. And you can increase them by equipment like I showed you, reincarnating, and juice bar. I think those are the three methods: using the juice bar, reincarnating, and equipment. And reincarnating will continuously increase your character stats. I don't know what the max is in D7. It got ridiculous in D6. And you can increase the stats on an item, but that's all going to come in another video, later video. Alright, so that is how to increase your stats and why it's important. Now the other thing you need to see is your weapon mastery. So your weapon mastery has two parts to it. You have your rank with each type of weapon, which there typically is a way to increase that. I don't know if you can go all the way to S with all of them or not, but I would recommend that you could level them to max if you wanted, but I wouldn't recommend focusing too much on getting their ranks up on all of them, because that would be messy. But the way that it works really is, if I'm using a gun, I'm S ranked. So that means that I'm most proficient with that and can use those skills and gain weapon mastery in them quicker. And also have a higher accuracy and all that kind of stuff. The levels, they give you extra stats for that weapon that you're using. So the Sammy gun that I have over there has a certain amount of stats. So let's say it gave 100 speed, right? My level 10 in the gun skill, because I'm using a gun, would give me, I believe, 10% extra stats. Now it's not 1 for 1. You get a higher percentage the higher level you are, and the max in the previous games was 255. Don't know if that's what it is here. Have to wait to see. Alright, so that's weapon proficiency, weapon mastery, and why you want to use it. And the same thing is kind of here, your skill proficiency. You gain extra damage. Is that the right way? Is it damage or stats? It's got to be damage, because the other one's based on your weapon. This is based off of the skill. So yeah, it's extra damage, and I don't know what the actual percentage is in 7 for each level that you gain in proficiency. Just know that your damage will go up with it. Alright, where am I at on my list? I did Evilties, I did items, I did stat versus level, weapons, resistance. Okay, resistances. Resistances are important for you and important on your enemy. So you can see for Plenaire, she has 25 in fire, 25 in wind, and 25 in ice. What that means is that she takes less damage for those damage types. She takes more damage though because she's got -10 for fist and monster weapons. And as we go through these other ones, you will see that they all have their own. So you need to pay attention to their resistances and kind of know what they're being attacked with so that you can put the best person in the place of, you know, being successful, or find a way to mitigate that. Now, if we go to one that's, so we got fire, star, wind damage right here. So these ones will do more damage to the ones that are weaker to it. So any enemy that has a negative on their any of these things, guns, axes, swords, fire, wind, ice, and star, will take more damage with that damage type. And some of these specials you can see have those types, elemental. This has none, but it is a gun, so that'll play a part. There are some that have both. And like this is Blazing Fang. It's obviously a sword skill that has fire. So if they're weak to sword and fire, they should take more damage than just being weak to one. Haven't tested it though, so don't quote me. But that's pretty much how resistances work. You do more damage to anything that has a negative if you use that damage type. Alright. Class proficiencies. Alright. So if you go over here, you got class proficiencies. And Fuji started out as a male samurai. This is probably not the best guy to use. Here we go. We use the gunslinger. Alright, the gunslinger has the gunslinger class to start with. Now, one thing I'm not 100% sure on is if you can change classes without maxing out the first class that they have. In other Disgaea games, you had to max this out before you could change to any other class. There is a bill in the Dark Assembly that lets you change this class at will. I haven't passed that to see if I can change without maxing out the first class or not yet. So just keep that in mind. You may have to max out the class, all the stars going across, before you can switch classes, or you might just have to change get the bill, pass the bill, and you can change classes right away. Now, what class proficiencies do is they geez, why did I lose that? I had that. Let's see here. They did give a percentage of stats as you use them. I am trying to find that percentage. So like for each star that you got like 1% increased stats across the board. And once you completed the gunslinger, if you move to gunner, it'd be the same thing. And it doesn't matter which class it is. it doesn't have to match up with the stats. So I don't have to actually switch classes through a reincarnation to go to gunner. I just switch it and then I start gaining experience. Now if you look at the gunslinger, you can see that the tippity top of that star is not filled yet, so I haven't got the 1 star yet. If I go to another one, you can see that I have the first one filled, it's gold. The next one's not quite full because it's green. Once it goes gold, then I know I've got 2 stars. So I believe it's 1% per star, which means 6% per class, but I am not 100% positive on that. And I can't find anything on it to be 100% sure, so I'm just trying to read real quick to see if I can. Yeah, there's really nothing here that tells me, but know that trying to max out all the classes, it will benefit your character, so you want to do that. It's kind of an end game thing, but you might max it out before you get to end game. So know to look for this and switch if you do max out one of the starting class at least. And I would say you want to max it out before you switch to a class. Just get them out of the way one at a time. Alright, so let's go and talk about team attacks.
Where to, dude?
The game kind of goes over this, but I wanted to show this along with combo attacks, which might be hard. These things might be too weak. Alright, let's take out Tamara, and we're gonna set her up to do her gunslinging thing, but we're also gonna
Entering
move
battle.
a bunch of characters within 2 spaces of her.
Yup.
And on top of her, which is called stacking in this game, because you can't do tower attacks. Like, you could call it tower attack, lifting, or whatever you want.
Your fate
I call it
is
stacking when you don't throw them.
Understand.
We're just going to move as many as we can within the 2 spaces.
I'll try.
And then we're going to execute. Not in turn, execute.
Understood.
I did not see if they did a team attack or not. Alright, let's try. I took a drink of water, I did not look. Alright, we'll try my mecha woman. There it is, that's a team attack.
Target acquired.
When you see
Fire.
multiple people, that's a team attack. Now, each one of those that you saw on the screen adds 5% of their attack power to the attack. What's not clear to me for Disgaea 7 is if they share experience with the attacker or not, because in previous games you would do that. A team attack would give everybody some experience. I don't know if that still applies here. Okay, one thing I want you to notice is even though I moved these characters and they took part in a team attack, I could still move them and come over here and attack one of these other guys if it's in my range. It's not my range though, unfortunately. Or even move them back into the base and pull somebody else out.
Do as your Shogun says!
So basically, as long as you don't attack, defend, and even if you defend, you can go defend, you could just go back over them, hit the right button, undo all that. You can undo their move again, and send them back to the base. It's all good. Now what I don't know, yeah, you can switch characters. Wait, no, switch characters. Oh no, I ended the turn. Oh, that's something new. I didn't know you could hit the start button and end the turn. I never did. Now I know that's a quick way of doing it. See, this game's got so much to it, it's crazy. Anyways, we completed that. Alright, so that is a team attack. To do a combo attack, I'm gonna
Lost
need
lambs. This is the
to do
hospital.
some. Alright, so we're gonna come over here, we're gonna heal.
Blessings be
I'll get
upon
the
you.
combo attacks later when I can when I increase the enemy's difficulty. Alright, so stacking, you saw stacking. The main reason you'd want to do stacking is if you want to bring somebody in and protect them and get them to do team attacks, you would put them on top of a character because then only the bottom character gets attacked. You could also do stacking where you put them on top and then you throw them. So if we look at character, we also have some other things right above this where it says move, jump, range, throw, counter, critical. Move is how far they can move in a given turn. Those are the squares they can move. Jump is how high they can jump, and I don't know if it's easy to tell you what the difference is between 15, 30, and 24. I don't know. I have no idea. Is that 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks? I don't know what a block represents on the height. Range is how far their range is on their basic attack. Not their skills or specials, because specials have their own ranges. But on their basic attack, you can see that Planier's is 5, so she can hit something 5 squares away. Fuji is a melee attacker, so he can do things at 1 square away, so he's got to be like right next to him. Throw is when you pick them up, either the enemy or you can throw them that many squares. So I could, with Fuji, I could throw him 5 squares. Planier, I could throw him 4. And I believe that increasing the attack stat will increase this, but I haven't tested it, so don't quote me. Keep in mind though, if you throw a Prinny, it will explode and all the squares around it will take damage. Just so you know. And if you have anything that you've changed to act like a Prinny, even if it's a unique character, if you throw them, they will explode as well. So keep that in mind. Counter. Counter is how many times they can counter in a given turn. This can be increased by going to the Dark Assembly, by getting Evilties, and other things like that. You can also increase move and jump in the Dark Assembly and throw range in the Dark Assembly. I don't know how far you can go with them. I've only seen the first build there. Critical is your chance of critical striking. So keep that in mind when you are doing damage, that you have a chance to critical strike. And that is all we need to cover for that. That was because of stacking. It reminded me I had to go back and show you guys those stats, especially the throw one, because that's what happens when you stack. You could throw, or you can hold them and protect them and just get the team attack. Alright, now we're going to go to the Dark Assembly. What is the Dark Assembly? It's a place where you go and you unlock stuff. It requires mana, just like the skill shop, so keep that in mind. Whichever character you're on is the one that you're going to use to unlock whatever. Sometimes that makes a difference. Other times you're unlocking things in a general sense for the game, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. So the mana you have is what you're going to use here. And these are the different things you can do. If I wanted to change my color, you can see that it costs 0 mana. And it has a 100% success rate. Now, one hard rule I have is to always save before I do anything in the Dark Assembly, because even if you have 85% chance of passing a bill, you can still fail. And I've seen that firsthand in this Disgaea 7. So, alright. So let's see if there's something we can pass that might be beneficial. I want a better throwing arm. I want to hit back. Change controllable character. The 0-1s will just pass. You don't even go into... You can just change color. Like right here, I would just select a different color if I could change the color. I want to jump higher, 85. I don't really care about that. Some of these are expensive. I don't want to do right now. Let's find out about the class. It says 80% chance to pass. Let's go ahead and try. See what happens. Alright, remember the right button will jump. It's easier to get around by using the jump button. What you need to pay attention to is the red ones because that means... Oh, what? Huh. Okay, don't pay attention to the red ones because they love it. And they're strong for. Alright, so what you need to look for is when you go over them, you'll see totally support. So that means they're going to vote I for your yes for your bill. More than likely. Love, they're going to vote for. Now there's totally support, which means... I wish I knew the range. I don't have the range on me. But you will see some that are like mostly support, strong for. And then you'll see other ones that are strong for. Well, there's got to be somebody that's against, right? Either way. Let's go with the either way one. If you select them by hitting the down button, you will be able to sway their vote in your favor. You just got to find something that they want. So you go through your items, find a slightly interested. Okay, I don't really care about these, so we'll go ahead and do this. And you can see as we give them some, now they're leaning yes. Now they're leaning yes in favor of. Alright, we don't need to want to go too overboard on it unless you really, really want to pass. Strong for, totally support. Alright, so even with everybody totally supporting, loving, and all, I've still seen these fail. So I'm just giving you a heads up. It could fail. It probably won't. We're going to hit the top button to vote. So you see how it goes and does its thing. This used to be Senate members and they would vote on it. But now it's a sumo fight because it's a Japanese themed Netherworld now. Alright, so now we have let me change my class. We passed that. So now,
dude.
oh, you can freely change your class now. So it is free, but let's see if I can actually do it. Let's go to status, go to class. Yep. Freely do it. So you don't need to max out your class. You pass that bill, you can change whatever class you want. Like I said, you might as well just max the one out at a time. I mean, you could do like, let me get the first 2-3 stars on all of them and then max them out because the stars get progressively harder to fill. They require more experience or whatever for each one. So you could max out 3 on each and then go to the fourth and max that out, 5th, 6th, however you wanted to do it. Just know that it's there. Pass that bill and you can change freely. Yeah, that's good to know. I was kind of wondering about that. Alright, so back to the Dark Assembly.
Where to, dude?
So, the first thing you're going to want to pass when you're here is I want cheats. I don't have it here because I've already passed it, but it would be down on the bottom here. I want cheats. And the next thing that I suggest you unlocking is the gotcha. And I don't remember the wording for that, but it'll say gotcha in either the description and or the title for the bill. And the reason why you want those is over here is the cheat shop. And the cheat shop gives you a lot of flexibility in this game. What you got to understand about Disgaea is it is meant for you to use the systems in the game for your benefit. Sometimes to the point where you feel like you're cheesing the game. That is alright. That is what Disgaea is all about. Do it. If you see a way to cheese the game, do it. If you see a way to cheese the game that nobody is talking about, share that. We all want to know. Alright? So when you first get in here, these will all be 100. It'll look like this. to eventually you will have more CP to move around without taking away from these other ones. But I wanted more experience and more mana, even if it's just a little bit. So I'm going to adjust that. You can adjust it however you see fit. If you're grinding mana because you want to pass bills, then make this all about mana. Just know that, I mean, you could take these down pretty far. I don't know how far you can, but let's find out. 80. That will also change as you go up, because eventually you'll get all your class proficiencies. You won't need this anymore. So you'll be able to take it down to 0. At least in previous games you were able to. Now hitting the right and left button will take you to different menus. This one is particularly important for the enemy strength and also the auto heal at base. I turn this on. Know that when you turn this on that I have no idea if it still uses HL to heal you, because I've not looked at my HL prior to leaving a map. Enemy strength. So let me show you how this all works. First off, we'll show you the heal, and then I'll show you increasing the enemy level. So
I'll
we'll
show you
go
the way,
to map 1, and we'll
So
just
you wanna duel?
use some characters that can go through this fast.
Let's go!
Alright, let me show you another thing you can do. Is you can go here and set that up. Go here, set this up, and then when you hit execute or end turn, it'll do all of it at once. And so it's cleared. Now, I used SP on that. I didn't take any hits, but I did use SP. So I should not have full SP on the characters that I use, but I do, because it auto heals, or it acts like you've gone to the hospital and used the hospital when you exit a map. You don't have to come all the way back to your Netherworld here, or your, this isn't Netherworld, this is a Nether ship. I forget what they call it in this game. You don't have to come all the way back here. You can just complete the map and then
I'll show you the way, dude.
go right back in. So if I was to go in here and beat this, I want to show you another thing here real quick. See how they're level 1s? Okay, so know that they're level 1s, because that's going to come into play when I go back to the cheat shop. I'm going to give up and go to stage select. If I did that, everybody would be healed at this point right here. As soon as I went back in, everybody's healed, everybody's got full SP, HP, we're good to go. And like I said, I don't know if the auto one uses HL. I assume that it does, but I haven't looked to see if it does for sure. So if you're grinding HL, that might not be your best option, but I still think it is, because you get more than you gain. Alright, so those guys were level 1. We're going to up the enemy strength level 2 here. Well, we'll just do 1 so you can see what 1 does. There is a formula to how many levels they go up per star. I don't remember what that is, and I don't know if it's changed in Disgaea 7 or not. But there is a formula, so keep that in mind. Somebody out there probably knows what it is. If you know what it is, put it in the comments so we all know what it is. But we're going to go over here, level 3, level 4. This guy was 1, this guy was 2. That's why he's got an extra level. You can kind of see how they go up in levels. So what you're going to want to do is, when you are grinding and you find a map that you like, I like this one because everything charges in once you once you start to attack, they all come towards you, and it makes it easier. You don't have to like move. You just move and attack, and then they start moving towards you, and then you're good. So once you find an area you like, you could just increase the enemy level to gain more experience and mana from them, and better equipment as well, up to a point anyways, until you unlock Carnage later on. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that is what I would do to grind early on, is I would find an area I liked, set it up to increase their levels as I leveled up my character or characters that I was grinding with, and rinse and repeat until I got them to where I want. Right now I'm trying to get 10 people to level 16, so I'm kind of doing that right now so that I can go and take on the DLC guys, because, well, I'll do a whole DLC video later. But I'm healed now,
Lost
so
Lambs.
what is the purpose
This is
of
the
the
hospital.
hospital? Well, now that we've unlocked the gacha, that is the purpose of the hospital. So as you're healing, you get RP. I don't know if that's 1 for 1, like if I heal 10 hit points, do I get 10 RP? I don't know. But you get RP. So you start off at low level. Once you've gotten all these items, then the next level becomes available. I have not unlocked the next level up. But what do you get when you do the gacha stuff? I'm going to just use the max amount. RP I don't think is used anywhere else. I haven't seen it used anywhere else, so you're pretty much safe just using it here and not worrying about it. So what do you get when you do the gacha? You get items and juice bar extracts. Very, very, very good way of getting items and money and extracts. See, there's 10 mana, experience, and all that good stuff, alright? And even some stat extracts that you can use, and HL if you need it as well. You see that I did not get the Mandragora root. I don't know how difficult that is to get, but I didn't get it, so I did not unlock the next level. Ah well, that's just the way that it goes.
May God watch over you.
So that is a good way to get some items that you can sell, use, and all that good stuff, is the gacha. Now let's talk about Reincarnation. Reincarnation, once you get
I'll
to
show you the way,
a
dude.
high enough level, will be the way, one of the ways you improve your characters. So when you reincarnate, so she's a cleric. Alright, I want you to pay attention to the right part of the screen real quick. You see the rank up top with the star? Because she's a 2-star class proficiency healer, acolyte, I can hit the right button and increase her to that rank. Now, if you look down at the stats on the below that, you will see as I go to the higher star, the stats amount change for her. So it is in your best interest, and I don't see a cost to this, to increase that to the highest rank possible. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to do that, and why it's not automatically maxed, I don't know. No idea. So anyways, if we were to max her out, go in here, you could change the name at this point. I'm not going to. You could use mana if you had more mana to increase the amount of stats that you're going to give her on this screen here, right? And remember, her thing is resistance, so we'll give her resistance so she can heal better. And then you could change the voice that she had, they had, whoever it is, and then you could change the color as well. And as you unlock the higher versions, you unlock some more colors, and there's other ways of unlocking other colors as well. And then you would just reincarnate. Now, the purpose of reincarnating is so that they go back to level 1, but their base stats are higher and as you level up, they increase. So let's say you're level 100 and had a resistance of 500. You reincarnate, you up the resistances, you up the rank, and then the next time you're level 100, your resistance could be 600 or 700 or whatever, right? So it's really beneficial. You can do this with HP, with intelligence, with SP, with whatever you want. You could add to those and it would help, but also increasing the rank increases all their base stats to a degree. So the other way to increase base stats is,
Welcome
like
to
I
the
said
juice
earlier,
bar.
the juice bar, have a drink, and now that I have some mana, I could give her a bunch of mana, or I could give her attack, which would be a waste, intelligence, and speed. So
Going so soon?
as you get to endgame, those are the main things that you want to work on, is get to a spot in the dimension guide where you feel comfortable with building a character up and grinding a character from 1 back to wherever you want them to be, and then you can reincarnate them, use the juice bar to increase their stats and everything. Now a level 1 character with 1,000 attack is just as potent as a level 1,000 character with 1,000 attack. I don't think the levels play much of a part. I think it's all about the stats. If I'm wrong, let me know, but from what I've seen so far, it's all about the stats. Alright, let me look through my list, see if there's anything that I missed. I don't believe there is. Oh, I didn't go over combo attacks. I wanted to get some beefier
AB!
enemies so that I could do that. Let's go ahead and make them 3? EF. I don't know why that person always just saying random letters. Alright, we're going to save just in case this goes horribly wrong. I doubt that it will, but we'll see. And also, I don't want to level them up past 16, and I'm probably going to use... I'll use lower level characters so they can get some combos in. Alright, so we're going to go the first stage. What level are these guys now? Am I in trouble? 9 now, I should be alright. Alright, so we're going to use Tamara. We're going to go special, gunman, and then we're going to bring out...
Here I go.
Mimi, and we're gonna use special and God kick, and this should, if the character doesn't die in the first attack, give me a combo.
Understood.
So it did a team attack. Oh, it finished them off. Alright, so let's take them back. Let's try a little lower level characters. Maybe Eddie first. Can I get Sylvia down there? Yeah, we can. Alright. So we'll use Eddie first. We'll use fire on this one. And then we'll just use a basic attack on this one as well. And please don't die off the fire. Yay, didn't die. Alright, so that is a combo attack. And why are they important? Because each additional combo, you can do this, like if something had a tremendous amount of hit points, you could do all 10 of your characters. You can deploy, I guess I should have showed you that. The 7 more up there means how many more characters you can deploy on this map. If you deploy them and they die, you lose that number. You can deploy them and put them back in. So if I take this one out and I move her over here and I go back, it says 6 more. But if I go move back, I got my 7 again. If they die on the map, you lose that deploy. So keep that in mind. Now back to what I was talking about. If you had something with a lot of hit points, you could do a combo with all 10 of your characters. And for each combo, you get 5% of... Wait, am I mixing this up with... I might be mixing this up with team attacks. Let me just verify the number real quick here. Okay, for each attack it's 10% increased attack in the chain, and it multiplies each time. So what you really want to do is put your least effective character first and then go up in attack power so that your last character is your most damaging character. Then they will get the highest damage bonus in the combo. But the main thing is for each combo in the chain, it goes up 10%. So this could be huge if you're having a hard time defeating a more difficult enemy, something with a lot of hit points. Alright, now let me check my notes real quick. I'm pretty sure I went over everything, and if I didn't, I will add it to... I'm going to make it a more advanced video where I go over actual, like, specifics on the different things you can do on your ship, and also the things I haven't unlocked yet, like Item World and other things that I will go over. I will also include like which skills and Evilties you want to copy and put on your characters for high efficient skill, high efficient experience and mana grinding, that kind of stuff. And there's going to be PvP. There's going to be all kinds of stuff in the next video that I have to get and unlock and test and see how it all works, if it works like the older games or not. So I guess if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment. I will do my best to answer them either in the comments, or if I know I'm putting them in the advanced video, I will just say look for the advanced video, and I'll do my best to work on that as quickly as possible. This is more of a grindy game than the last Disgaea. It does harken back to the previous ones before 6. I'm kind of waiting to open the auto battler because that will help, but we'll have to see how that works because they said you need fuel for it, and you don't just get to go auto battling overnight and be happy-go-lucky. You actually gotta use fuel that you get by doing other things, but I'll sort that out and that'll be in another video. Just means that grinding is going to be a little bit more difficult. And yeah, that's where we're going to end this video. So remember, this video is for like beginners that I'm trying to help out with Disgaea so they can enjoy the series. I don't know if this will be much, if this video was helpful for anybody that is more advanced. If it was, great. If not, sorry. Next video will probably be more for you. Until then though, take care. Bye bye now. Static Buzz out.